Good evening. I would like to randomly tell you a story about the random theory of evolution, how we all came to be. Randomly, one time, nothing exploded and formed everything. Randomly, these stars became galaxies, and randomly, on certain planets, life started to evolve. Randomly, these little small, tiny microscopic things became larger because they were eating all the bacteria. Because bacteria is actually very good for you, so it makes you grow. It's a scientific fact. And randomly, these beings actually grew fins. Randomly, they grew eyes. And randomly, they actually grew larger dorsal fins so that they could swim in the ocean. Randomly, one day some of these little fish became birds. They randomly grew wings, and randomly they grew beaks. Randomly, they actually fed on the fish, which of course isn't cannibalism because they're now a different species. And randomly they flew over the land. And randomly, the first bird caught its first worm. Randomly, these birds saw that the land was very good, and randomly, they grew legs. Now, randomly, these monkeys started to walk around, and randomly, they decided to communicate a little bit better and to shave their fur because they no longer needed it anymore, because it was in fact getting warmer, you see, because the end of the Jurassic period, and they had an ice age and everything, but things were getting warmer again. Okay, so they just shed their fur. The fur just kind of became skin. And randomly, these beings formed tribes, and randomly they started to build cities. And randomly they went out hunting, they organized themselves, and they started to have beliefs about where they came from, that perhaps a god had created them. Randomly, these people became bigger and stronger, or should I say smaller and weaker. And randomly, they actually discovered a land called the United States of America. Randomly, 44 presidents became to rule that land, and randomly, during the last president's reign, they actually started to create new human beings. It was called transhumanism, where they did interbreeding. All very random, of course, not scientific, just random. And strangely, randomly, it was only the white class of people who had upper class accents, okay, that survived that period, okay, and all the lower class people were put into camps and killed, all very randomly, of course. And randomly, a meteor struck an ocean and wiped out most of the life on the planet. And after that, well, my theory of random evolution has to end, because God showed up, and all those who had faith in this God were saved. So this random theory of evolution, of course, I'd have to admit to you, is a fabricated lie. I'm sorry. Thank you for listening.